a long season. They planning on winning for the wrong reasons. Trying to get my number retired. Can't let these frauds beat us. I figured out the recipe. Never let opponents get the best of me. I'm focused on my legacy.
Big chips, man, I need that. Hustle hard on the job, you can see that. On my head is real good, we don't need your feedback. They clear the way with my crew coming through. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. What I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Now what I do? Lace up the shoes, chase W's. Yeah. The beats, leave it in the street, case on the news.
Big numbers, 100 minute bag, that's a big number.
Coach, it is a sound like no other when they raise that 12th man flag here in Seattle. We just heard it, and that means it's time for football at CenturyLink Field. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Atlanta Falcons and the Seattle Seahawks. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Atlanta.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it'll be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
Freeman again, a first down carry. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And finally down at the 9-yard line. A big run there by Freeman. Give him 53 yards on the ground. They had trouble stopping the run last week in a loss, and here it rears its ugly head early.
You're supposed to try and get your confidence going after a loss like that where you gave up big yards running the football. This is not the way to go about it.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Ito Smith. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Extra point up and through. And that makes the score 7-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This will be taken short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Now a give, right side. It's Taylor. A big run there, 29 yards and a first. I have a pretty good friend, Charles Davis, who tells me that when he sees plays like that, strong runs to the right, reminds him of the 1960s Green Bay Packers.
Boy, those were the days back when the fullback actually carried the ball as well as blocked. Then you had a halfback. You had pulling guards, guys who could get out and run. And you can hear the great coach saying it back then. So we get a seal here and a seal here, and we run this play right in the alley.
It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Now they'll try the jet sweep here. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
Check, 27.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. And not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
Those throwing windows get a lot tighter near the end zone, don't they? And here's the thing. You already probably have 3 points in your hip pocket. You force a throw here and give up an interception, you come away with nothing.
Especially tough in the middle third of the field where he threw that one.
Strip the ball. Strip that ball.
On third down, Wilson. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Isaiah Oliver with the INT. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And they'll be looking to make this a 2-score advantage. Had the touchdown on their first drive, Charles. Hey, they can get up 2 scores here on the road. That's a heck of a start.
And not only have they thought about it, I wonder if they visualized it. I remember playing and they used to turn the lights out in our meeting room and run through a situation like this and say, just think about what it would be like to be up on the road and take the crowd out of it. Maybe they did some of that.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. He's going to have the first down past the 20. A big run there by Freeman. 41 yards on the ground.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2.
Ready, back 25. 54 Mike. Record. 54 Mike. 54 Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Now they'll throw it with Ryan. Man open, that's Calvin Ridley. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A nice pickup there, 18 yards, first down Falcons. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line. Ryan. Complete to Jones. And he gets it down to the 32.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary target for a really nice gain.
So 3rd down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first.
39. Right there. 54. Right there. Five. Switch up. 54.
To throw is Ryan. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, they started that drive all the way back at the 1, able to march down, get 3.
It was daunting to begin with, wasn't it? But I thought overall, a very poised and efficient drive to get 3 points.
This one fielded at the 5. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate, and of course they'd like to forget the ending, the interception, but they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get them down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. 5 men in the secondary now for the Falcons on 3rd down. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's got Lockett. Wilson to Lockett there for the Seahawk 1st down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
And just 1 tick to go, so this will obviously be the final play of this 1st quarter. 2nd and 10 now, Wilson. He's going to look deep for more, and that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. They run it with Carson, and he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Wild Bill. Under 10. 10. Friday. Hey, easy. Check.
They snap it at 1. Now Wilson. And he's going to go down. Back at the 27-yard line, he's sacked. Duke Riley make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game watching this offensive line because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit. Right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
51 to Mike. You're not ready. Hey, Mike 51.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. Dancing to his left. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
No doubt that's a very good play defensively right there because you've always got to be aware that he can take off and make a big play with his legs. How about the way they were able to contain him? That also tells me the coverage was excellent downfield.
On comes the Seahawk kicker here on 4th down. It's Jason Myers. Spotted at the left hash, this from 45. And Myers winds up yanking it. This is no good. Wide to the left, and this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop. But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to third and manageable with that run.
From the gun on third down, Ryan. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was a strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
The Falcons send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. 12 yards on the return that time, and it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again, Wilson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's third down. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah. Not
an actual player? Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
The Seahawks on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Hey, watch that. Hey, watch the ball. Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. That's into the hands of his tight end, Will Dissly. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
First and 10 at the 26-yard line.
Mike. Mike, 4. Pick me up. Here we go. Alert. Hey, watch that.
Now Wilson on first down. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The intended receiver was DK Metcalf, and now it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
2nd and 10. It's Wilson again. Oh, a battle for it here, and this will be caught. That'll pick up the first down for Seattle on a gain of 18.
One of the selling points of the corner route is usually the receiver is able to move away from the defender. But in this case, he didn't get that far away.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
Check 43. Hey, check 24. Watch 24. 12.
Now it's Carson. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
A loss of 2.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
This throw complete. Wilson finding Lockett. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 44-yard line.
First and 10 at the 44-yard line.
We've hit the 2-minute mark of the first half. 10-0 our score.
Let's go, boys. Bring it up.
And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats. And he rifles one that's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And a big return will get him all the way down to the 35. Well, when you start thinking of guys that are in the mix for Defensive Player of the Year, I think you use him as Exhibit A. Maybe he's not the leading guy right now, but he's at least on the periphery and deserves to be in the discussion.
And because of that, he's looking at a game today where in order to make that big move and maybe become the guy, he needs multiple takeaways, multiple big plays, things that get our attention and reverberate for weeks to come.
They will get 4 yards here on the first down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the Seahawks' 30-yard line.
Ready, we're ready. We're ready. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54. Watch the out. Watch the out.
Staying on the ground. This time it's Smith. And some room to maneuver. And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. Ito Smith with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback.
25-yard line.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
I know, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
On 2nd down, it's Taylor. And obviously not fooling anybody here as they stop him behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
The 26-yard line.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
They go to the ground again with Taylor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 38. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. Well, that's 3 picks he's now thrown in this game.
And I know this, the holiday season, because here we are in
Season
December.
of giving.
Right, it is the season of giving. Maybe for his own sake after the game, he may have to announce that he's donating certain amounts to charity for each interception that he threw.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. Now it's Ryan. Looking left side, it's complete. He's got it. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a 1st down for the Falcons.
And the Falcons.
Ready, get ready. Mike 25. 54. Mike 54. Watch the run. Watch the run. Let him go.
They'll get this out wide to Allison. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
3rd quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
54. Hey, 59, ready. Tight down. There you go. Alert 3. Alert 3. Alert 3. Hey, south. 54.
They'll look to run with Freeman. And he gets in. Touchdown, Atlanta. Devontae Freeman. Touchdown number 15 on the year. And the Falcons use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Extra point right down the middle. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
So that one will get them halfway to the 1st down marker. 7 yards makes it 3rd and 7 now.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by DeMonte Kazin.
So that's back-to-back drives where they're throwing an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Back 25! Coming, baby! Woo!
On first down, Freeman. And he will reach the 8-yard line before going out. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Oh, that's a big one right there. You talk about breaking off a huge chunk of real estate. But if you're the defensive coordinator, you cannot dwell on the fact you just gave up an explosive run. You have to look ahead, regroup your guys, and figure out a way to slow down this attack.
Oh, yeah, I'm coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Get up. They'll run here with Freeman. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The line of scrimmage, the 7 now on 2nd and goal. Now Ito Smith. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and it's going to set up a 3rd and goal.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. This defense hasn't let them in yet. They'll need to stiffen here. 3rd and goal from the 2. They'll try and run. Freeman. Yeah, Freeman was trying to work his way forward, but I don't think he got there. What a stand so far defensively, and now that's going to bring up a 4th and goal. So out comes a field goal team now for the 2nd time here today. This is less than an extra point, just a 19-yard attempt. And his kick is good. And the lead increases even further. It's 27-0 now. So it's an old-school extra point that counts 3 times. So it's certainly a disappointment they weren't able to get it in the end zone.
Yeah, I can just imagine post-game, head coach looking at the box score, 19-yard field goal, grimacing a little bit, but having to realize that at that moment, getting 3 points was vital. Go ahead and get the points, put them on the board.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll keep it on the ground. Taylor. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. Another example of just a dominant performance by this defense.
Yeah, you hear all the time about teams that try to steal signals from the other side and try and learn their signs and their tendencies. It's almost like they get the answers to the exam the night before and were well prepared for this final.
And the pressure will get to him. He goes down. Now, there is a flag on the play, but this looks like holding on the offense. So instead of giving them another 3rd down, they'll decline it, brings up 4.
Now, that's smart football right there. You don't even have to really spend a lot of time considering it. Just know that you're probably going to get the ball back. Good job declining that penalty.
Now here's Michael Dixon as he's on to punt for Seattle. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
I don't don't know why, but it's always agonizing to me to see a guy make a mistake in this phase of the game because it's all on him. All eyes there. He's got a chance to make a punt return, and instead he ends up putting it on the carpet.
Puts it on the carpet. The little rubber pellets shoot up. Never a good sign for a returner on this field turf surface.
No, not at all. And a bunch of them go up when they're all trying to get to the football, don't they?
They run. Devontae Freeman. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On 2nd down now, it's Smith. And he'll get it up here this time to the 21. That one, a first down pickup of 8.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
You can't block me. You can't block me.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. A big run there by Freeman, 45 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
So the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. On the carry, it's Olsen. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Staying on the ground with Olsen. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The Falcons on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This will be 3rd and 6. Here's Olsen. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll bring up 4th down. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. On the right hash, it's a 43-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And they're well on their way now as the lead grows even larger. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This will be fielded at the 6. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
Let's go.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And, okay, all right, I'm being facetious here. But you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
They run with Taylor. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. The give to Taylor. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. That'll wind up going for a loss of 4. And that's going to bring up a 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback. Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
59, ready? You ready? Watch the curve. Watch the curves.
On third down, Smith. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. Not at all what they envisioned on third down. 3 yards in the wrong direction. The Falcons send out their punter, standing right on his own 5-yard line. Here comes Grant on the return. It's a net of 40 there. A punt of 48 and a return of 8. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. They are on to the 4th quarter now, by the way, in Santa Clara. And that one for the 49ers now a 2-touchdown advantage. Another victory perhaps in the cards. They're looking as good as anybody as the playoffs draw near. They'll run on 1st down. Taylor. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
They'll keep it on the ground. Taylor, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And just like that, it's 3rd down.
Let's go. Let's calm the crowd.
Taylor. And he can only get this to the 42-yard line, and that is not near enough. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. Time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Falcons, they remain in the hunt for a first-round bye as they move to 11-3 on the year. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, the loss might knock them out of playoff contention as they drop to 6-8. And they'll try to rebound next week on the road in Washington.